Hello and welcome everyone. Today's video features a complete review guide of the brand new Pan-Asian Tier 9 premium cruiser Dalian. Now the Dalian will be available in the premium store and in the armory for 19,300 doubloons. The Dalian is based on a variant of a small cruiser project developed in the U.S.S.R. with dual-purpose artillery with reinforced anti-aircraft and anti-submarine armament of the post-war generation. Dalian comes armed with 10 130mm guns in 5 turrets, with flat fast shell ballistics and 4 triple torpedo tubes with standard torpedoes, unlike the deep-water torpedoes of the researchable Pan-Asian cruisers. Dalian also comes equipped with a smoke generator with short reload time, repair party, and also boasts having excellent concealment, balanced out by having very weak armor and a high place citadel. Now, before talking about the ship stats in more detail and how the Dalian plays and performs, let me put up the build I've been refining during testing. But to be honest, there is quite a bit of flexibility here, depending on your playstyle and how you wish to play it. Now, Dalian gives me a very strong Smolensk vibe, but without the trolley armor. The Dalian is very lightly armored indeed. It essentially has DD armor for the most part, and we can see here using a simple port screenshot. The Dalian gets 16mm fore-end plating, upper and lower. The upper casemate is 16mm, along with the main deck. The aft end plating, both upper and lower, is 16mm. The citadel armor belt, which you can see is located above the waterline, gets 100mm of armor protection. The superstructure gets a minimal 13mm, and even the 5 gun turrets, they get all-round protection of only just 12mm. So very, very lightly armored indeed. Your concealment and your smokescreen are going to be your greatest defense when playing the Dalian, as any kind of incoming fire is going to prove quite catastrophic. You are going to see broken gun turrets, rudders, broken engines, and you will take damage from all possible angles. So avoiding incoming fire is of absolute paramount importance. This ties in directly to the Dalian's survivability. Now, you can see in this video I am using the Quan Rong bonus captain, and using the skill survivability expert you can actually get the hit points up to 31,900. Now, the base hit points of the Dalian starts at 27,400. Using a normal captain without a bonus to survivability expert, you can boost this to 31,450. So in terms of the quality of the bonus captain, you can see it makes quite a significant difference, boosting from 27,400 to 31,900. This is further reinforced by having 5 repair parties. So if you happen to be trading high explosive damage with enemy cruisers, the Dalian can feel quite tanky indeed, as you can repair a lot of this damage. However, any kind of citadel or heavy AP damage, and you will be suffering in the long run. I have had games where I tanked between 1.5 and 2 million potential damage, but these prove to be the exception. In terms of survivability, one of the biggest weaknesses is the lack of hydroacoustic search. The Dalian only gets a torpedo protection damage reduction of 4%. Now this is essentially 0, and during testing the ship did have access to hydro, but that is no longer the case. If you're going to be sitting in smoke screens, one of the biggest risks is taking enemy torpedoes. So one should be very, very careful when smoking up to apply damage on the enemy team, is to be aware of the position of enemy destroyers at all times. And this includes torpedoes from enemy cruisers. So we come to the Dalian's main battery. The Dalian gets 5 twin-mounted 130mm guns, 3 fore and 2 aft. They have a base reload time of 5.5 seconds. That is with this build. I am using the range mod that increases the firing range. Should you choose to go for main battery mod 3 in slot 6, you can get the reload speed down to 4.8 seconds. But for the purpose of this video, and there are numerous reasons why I am playing with the range mod here. The turret traverse time is really strong at 9 seconds to traverse 180 degrees. The max dispersion of these guns is 131 meters, and as I just stated, the max firing range is 15.7 kilometers, and the gun sigma is 2.05. The Dalian can fire both high explosive and armor piercing rounds. The high explosive can inflict a max damage of 1800, and with this captain and this build, they have a massive 10.5% chance of setting the target on fire. The high explosive can penetrate 22mm of armor and have a very nice shell speed of 950 meters per second. The armor piercing rounds have the exact same shell speed of 950 meters per second, and they can inflict a max damage of 2600. The reasons behind using the range mod, well, it comes down to a number of factors. Dealing with long-range radar, and in particular Russian cruisers at Tier 9 and Tier 10, and even at Tier 8 when it comes down to it, can be your greatest nemesis. Should you play with the range mod, it simply gives you a greater window to engage these Russian cruisers from safely outside of their radar range. Being exposed to any kind of Russian cruiser with light armor like this is usually a death sentence. Being able to engage from longer range is very efficient. Plus, the combination of this 950 meter per second shell speed and high fire chance, it means you are also very effective at long range. Not only can you set these kind of targets, including battleships, regularly on fire, actually landing shell hits at max range is not exactly an issue. I found I was comfortably able to land the vast majority of my shells on target from this long range, instead of being sucked into a close range engagement where a radar cruiser can simply push forward, radar your smoke, and then all kinds of shit hits the fan. I really was quite impressed with the performance of these guns in general. This combination of fast shell speeds, flat trajectory, and extremely high fire chance is a very effective combination. Finding that balance between being able to deal damage and to avoid incoming fire is key to success with this Dalian. Ideally, you want to be rotating between island cover and smokescreen while maintaining fire as much as possible. And doing so will lead to some very nice results indeed. The damage output of these guns is really quite impressive. So moving to the torpedoes, unlike the Pan-Asian tech tree line of cruisers, the Dalian gets standard torpedoes. The Dalian gets 4 triple mounted launchers, 2 on each side. Now these have a very fast reload time of 81 seconds, a max firing range of 10 kilometers, and they can inflict a max damage of 17,365. With this build, they have 60 knots of speed and a torpedo detectability range of 1.2 kilometers. Now, I found these torpedoes to be really quite effective. The fast reload allows you to constantly keep a spread ready just in case, but the fact that they are also effective against DDs, it allows you to play a role that supports your destroyers. It allows you to put effective torpedoes in the water to aid in those fights against enemy destroyers. I found having such a large number of torpedoes at your disposal, it's very helpful when enemy ships are pushing your position, attempting to push your smoke screen, etc. It's a very nice weapon at your disposal. Now in this game we didn't actually manage to land any torpedoes, but those games that we have managed to do so, you rapidly see the damage numbers ticking up very rapidly indeed. Being able to force floods and then set fires, the amount of tick damage can go up at quite an impressive rate at times. When it comes to anti-submarine warfare, the Dalian gets an impressive defense. You get 2 charges and there are 12 bombs per charge, 24 in total with a reload time of 40 seconds. So 24 bombs, each is capable of inflicting a max damage of 1700. Now there are currently no submarines in the game, but it was announced in the recent roadmap, although it was quite interestingly phrased. Submarine testing will resume, and the fate of the new ship type will depend on these test results. I found this quite interesting. But in any case, the depth charges are there, quite impressive, large number, high damage. So moving to the anti-aircraft defense, despite having a rating of only 78, I found the AA on the Dalian to be very good indeed. Dalian gets 40 25mm guns in 10 quad-mounted turrets, 8 57mm in 4 twin-mounted, and the main battery, the 5 twin-mounted main gun turrets, also double up as AA defense. Now the continuous average damage is 298, and this is equally spread between short range, medium and long range, the majority of which is short and long range. Now this is very important. Being able to engage and destroy enemy aircraft at max range actually prevents them getting off their drops, which is very beneficial. Now the combination of long range defense, a max firing range of 6 kilometers, combined with 7 black explosions per salvo in this 3.5 to 6 kilometer range, makes actually getting strikes off against Dalian quite expensive in terms of planes lost. Now, I was fighting a Pobjeda in this game, and especially against Russian aircraft carriers, they don't have to spend time flying around your ship after the initial strike. It's a one-strike deal. They are able to get their planes out instantly, and even despite this, Dalian is capable of shooting down quite a number of aircraft. Once you start encountering aircraft carriers from other nations that are actually forced to maneuver in your AA bubble, then you'll find yourself shooting down large numbers of aircraft. Moving on to the Dalian's maneuverability, she gets a base speed of 33.4 knots. Now this can be increased to 35.1 knots with the Sierra Mike signal flag. Dalian gets a turning circle radius of 660 meters and a rudder shift time of 6.9 seconds. Now that can be further reduced. I am using the propulsion mod in this game, as I find the ability to be able to quickly speed up, especially from the cover of smoke screens when it comes to enemy incoming torpedoes, is very useful indeed. So a turning circle radius of 660 and a rudder shift time of 6.9 seconds. So finally, stats wise, we come to the Dalian's concealment rating of 75, which equates to a surface detectability range of 8.9 kilometers. Now this is using a full stealth build, utilizing both ship upgrade and captain skill. Now this is really quite useful. Low detectability like this allows you to often dictate your own range of engagements. Should the opportunity arise to push in and help your friendly destroyers, you have very competitive concealment to do so, kind of operating in that 3 to 4 kilometer range behind your destroyer. You can be very effective for quick bursts of fire against enemy destroyers. Your detectability range from the air is the same as your AA range, so there's never any really need to turn off your AA defenses. Your detectability range from the air is 6 kilometers, which is identical to your AA range. So all in all, I found the Dalian to be a lot of fun. If you enjoy this high risk, high reward gameplay, it really can be quite effective. Now, you can expect to be deleted in this ship. The complete lack of armor is one of the ship's main weaknesses. However, this is balanced out by having fantastic guns, lots of torpedoes, very effective AA defense, and very competitive concealment. The way to really gauge how powerful a ship can be is when it's in the hands of a good player on the enemy team, and this ship is capable of setting the world on fire. It really does give me very strong Smolensk vibes at tier 9, and being at tier 9 you can also benefit from at times some very nice matchmaking. Tier 9 has some of the most beneficial matchmaking in the game. You end up being top tier a lot, you end up being in all tier 9 games, and then the Dalian is incredible. But even against tier 10s, the fire damage, it stacks, making you incredibly effective, and the amount of fires you will be setting in this ship, I mean, it's virtually, it feels very much like a Smolensk in terms of fire starting ability. So I hope I was able to provide you some useful information about the brand new Tier 9 Premium Pan-Asian cruiser, the Dalian. Now, the Dalian will be available very soon in the Premium Store and in the Armory, costing 19,300 doubloons. If you liked the video, feel free to hit that thumbs up button. It greatly helps out the channel a lot, so thank you very much in advance. If you'd like to see some live gameplay of the Dalian and other ships, I stream live on Twitch several times a week. You can see the link here on screen. I look forward to seeing you all. I'd like to thank you once again all for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more. Take a moment to check out some of my most recent videos and leave a comment below. And until the next time, keep sailing it like you stole it.